Hey Budget Squad, welcome back to my channel. I am so glad you decided to click on today's video to join me for another budgeting adventure. In today's video, we are going to be budgeting out my March paycheck and creating my budget for the month of April. If you are new, welcome. My name is Summer and I'm currently on a financial journey to pay off all of my debt while saving money at the same time. I do budget using a zero-based budget and with the help of the cash envelope system. And I'm currently paying off my debt using the avalanche method. Here on my channel, I make videos on budgeting, saving money, paying off debt, and pretty much anything money related. If that's content that you're interested, go ahead and stick around and hit that subscribe button. I would love to have you join the Budget Squad. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for coming back and joining me for another video. I truly appreciate your support. So let's go ahead and get into today's video. So there's going to be a couple of things happening in today's video. We are going to budget out my March paycheck and create my budget for the month of April. I did go ahead and write out everything, so I'm not going to write out everything for you on camera. I want to show you guys my entire budgeting process in this video. So I do budget using two different workbooks. This is the Budget Mom's Budget by Paycheck workbook. And then I also have her Excel version workbook, which I am really liking a lot. I've been getting a lot of comments that people are saying that they're finding the workbook to be very repetitive and to take a lot of time. If you're feeling that way, I would definitely recommend the Excel version. I've been using the Excel version for about 2 years now. This is the first year that I have really dived into using it. I really like that I was able to start it at the beginning of the year, and I love all of the graphs that it shows you, and it honestly saves me a lot of time because it does calculate all the numbers and percents for you. But I still am a paper pencil girl, so I definitely like to write out my draft budget in my workbook. For the month of March, I did do a budget audit. I am trying to get back on track and make sure that I'm keeping up with tracking my expenses. I really want to close out my budget the correct way and share that with you guys here on my channel. My budget has been closing out, but it's been a little bit tricky when you're transferring money from account to account. So what I went ahead and did is I went ahead and filled out my income, my bills, my envelopes, the extra debt payments I plan to make, and my extra savings. And then I went ahead and took out my cell phone and I checked my account to get the bill dates. And when I was checking my account to get the bill dates, I did find some bills that were not in my budget. So I went ahead and added that. Like my cinch is my home warranty. I had to get a new home warranty plan. When I bought my house, a year was included with the purchase. So now I'm paying $35.99. And then I saw my Audible subscription was not on my budget. So this is my March budget. If you are new, I do budget using my real numbers. I am a teacher and my income is public record, so I do go ahead and share that with you guys on my channel. So if you're new to budgeting, you do not have to have anything fancy. You do not have to have this workbook. You can budget just using a piece of paper and pencil if you would like. There are a couple of steps that you need to do when creating a budget. The first thing you want to do is you want to make sure you list all of your income sources. Then you want to list all of your bills. Then you want to list your variable spending, which is your cash envelopes. These are expenses that tend to vary month to month, where the fixed expenses up here are expenses that tend to stay about the same every month. After you have budgeted for your fixed and variable expenses, you then budget for your sinking funds. And then you budget for extra debt payments you plan to make. And then lastly, you budget for extra savings. And if you correctly did your budget, you should have a zero-based budget where every dollar is accounted for. And you find out if you have a zero-based budget by taking your income total, minusing your bill total, minusing your envelope total, minusing your sinking fund total, minusing your extra debt total, and then minusing your extra savings total. And that should come out to $0. So let's go ahead and take a look at my Excel workbook, because I know that we are going to have to make some changes. So this really is a draft budget. So I'm going to go ahead and just put draft. And then the one in my Excel workbook is going to be my final budget. So let me go ahead and grab my computer and show you guys what the Excel budget looks like. All right, here I am back. I thought I was recording my screen. I was recording my screen previously, however, the audio was off, so I'm back to re-record it with the audio on so that you guys can hear me talking you through my screen. So here is a look at my Paycheck budget for March using the Budget by Paycheck Excel version of the budget sheet. It is very similar to her workbook. She does name some of her boxes differently, and I will go over with that. So if you are new to budgeting, the first thing that you want to do is you want to list all of your income sources. That way you can find out your income total. In the workbook, in this box where it says inflow, in the workbook, she does call it income. And in this box right here where it says inflow total, in the workbook, she does call it income total. So I did go ahead and list out my income just to save time. If you are new, I do budget by paycheck. I get paid monthly on the last working day of the month. So I got paid on March 22nd, and my March 22nd paycheck is going to be used to cover all of my April expenses. So for the month of March, I have the following income coming in. I do have my teacher's salary broken up into two accounts. The majority of my teacher's salary goes into my checking account, and $6,742.92 was deposited in my checking account. And then I do have $400 that goes into my summer savings account, which is a savings account that accumulates a little bit more interest than your typical savings account. And then I do have other income, about $500 that comes in every month. So my income total for my April budget is $7,642.92. Here on my channel, I do share my real numbers. I am a teacher and my income is public record, so I do go ahead and share that with you guys. So now that I have my income total, the next thing that I need to budget for is my fixed expenses. Fixed expenses are expenses that tend to stay about the same every month. In the workbook, she calls this section right here bills, and then on the Excel spreadsheet it's called fixed expenses and bills. And then in this section you just list your bill, the date that it's due, the budget, and then the actual amount that you spent. I absolutely love the Excel version for this part because as I'm making mistakes, which you saw in my workbook, I can change it in the Excel template and then it will recalculate the numbers for me. So my fixed expenses are the following. My mortgage is $3,927.97. When I was just using the workbook, I didn't put the due date. However, I do like to put the due date on the Excel spreadsheet because the dates will then populate onto my budget calendar, which is really nice. My HOA is $58 this month. It typically is $478, I believe. I did accidentally pay my HOA twice last month. I had it where it is set to be mailed to them, but I forgot to turn off my automatic payments. So I was double charged, but that's okay. So this month I'm only having to pay $58. I switched it because it used to let you be on automatic payments for free. And then recently they're charging you like $3 each time. So I'm just having my bank send in a check to the HOA, and that is free. My SDG&E bill is $91.98 a month. My cell phone is $147.59 a month. My internet is $65.95 a month. I do have an Instant Ink subscription for my printer, which is $6.99. USAA, which is for my auto insurance, is $105.89 a month. I do have an Epidemic Sound subscription, which is $17.99 a month. I do have a monthly car wash subscription, which is $34.95. I am going to be canceling that. I'm just finding that I'm not using it, and I would just rather take that money and set it aside in my transportation envelope and just pay to have someone wash my car. At the car wash, it's self-service, so you just go through and then you have to vacuum it yourself and dry it yourself. So I'm just going to cancel that and then just save money to have my car washed. My son does do piano lessons. Those are $105 a month. I have an Orange Theory membership, which is $169 a month. I have a Coomers membership, which is $25 a month. I have a Peloton subscription, which is $44 a month. I do invest with American Funds, which is $150 a month. I am paying off my son's cell phone and Apple Watch. That is $51.39. My student loans are $87.41 a month. I do have a personal loan, which is $249.72 a month. I have an Audible subscription, which is $14.95 a month. I do have iCloud extra storage for my cell phone. That is $2.99 a month. I do have supplies that comes to $100 a month. I do have a WW subscription, which is $23.99 a month. Cinch is new, which is for my home warranty. That is $35.99. And then I do have an Oura Ring, and that subscription is $5.99. So when you add up all of my fixed expenses, my bill total comes to $5,522.74. It's nice having the Excel version because it just calculated all of my bills and then put the bill total and then the leftover amount. So if I take my income total of $7,642.92, if I subtract my fixed expenses and bills, that means I'm left over with $2,120.18. Now that we've budgeted for my fixed expenses and bills, we now need to budget it for my variable spending and cash envelopes. This is called the envelopes in the workbook, but on the Excel spreadsheet, it's called variable spending and cash envelopes. I do have the following variable spending and cash envelopes. I am going cashless this month. The only category that I'm going to be taking out cash for is my health and beauty category. However, everything else is going to be cashless. So if you missed my video on why I am ditching my cash envelopes and going cashless, go ahead and check out that video and I will link it above for you guys. So for April, I'm budgeting $600 for food, $300 for gas, $75 for fun/entertainment, $250 for health and beauty, $50 for guilt-free, $15 for miscellaneous, and $25 for household. So my envelope total comes out to $1,315. So if I take my leftover amount after my bills of $5,520, no, if I take my leftover amount after my bills, $2,120.18, and subtract my envelope total of $1,315, that means I'm left with $805.18. Now that we've budgeted for my fixed expenses, my variable expenses, the next thing we need to budget for is my sinking funds. I'm not going to budget for any sinking funds this month. I did put a lot of money in my sinking funds in the month of January and February and March. So April, I'm just going to take a short break and then I will resume those later. For extra debt, I am going to be resuming my extra debt payments. I want to focus on paying off my school first personal loan. So for extra debt, I budgeted $358.02 towards extra debt. In my draft budget in my workbook, I was planning to do $400, but once I made the adjustments after my audit, I realized that I was over budget, so I had to change that. And that was nice. It was so nice not having to use whiteout and being able to change the numbers in the Excel spreadsheet and then recalculate. So for my school first personal loan, I budgeted $358.02. So if we take the leftover amount of $805.18 and minus my extra debt of $358.02, that means I'm left over with $447.16. And then the next thing we need to budget for is my extra savings. I am going to leave a buffer of $30.16 in my checking account. And then for savings, I do want to go ahead and pay myself back. I did borrow $417 from my savings account last month when I realized that I double paid my HOA. So I'm going to pay my savings account back the $417. So my saving total comes out to $447.16. So if I take my leftover amount of $447.16 and subtract my saving total of $447.16, that means I am left with $0. And that is how I get a zero-based budget where every dollar is accounted for. And when I thought I was recording, this was in the negative, so I knew that I was over budget. So I did go ahead and make adjustments, and then it did fix that mistake. Lastly, it does have a section in the Excel program for you to create your cash envelope breakdown. Since I am going cashless, I did not fill out this section. The only category that I'm going to be pulling out cash for is for health and beauty. And I am going to be taking out $250. I just decided to continue to have cash for health and beauty because a lot of my self-care, the services I get, they do offer discounts if you pay cash. I don't really care about the cash denomination breakdown. I'm just going to ask for the bank to give me a variety of bills, so I'm not going to fill that out. So that is a look at my budget. That is a look at my April budget using my March 22nd paycheck. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. And I would love to hear how you guys like this video. Do you guys want me to continue to budget digitally using this Excel sheet, or would you prefer for me to continue to budget using my workbook with a pen and piece of paper? Your feedback is greatly appreciated, and I hope that you guys have an amazing day, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Bye.